Everyone in America should have one of these. What is this? All right. Hello, everyone in the world. I am your president from the people and your president of the people. And I like to formally introduce myself. I made an announcement in 2021 on conscious mindset of my run for presidency, for the presidency of the United States of America. And I would like to make my formal hello to you all and thank you all for taking a moment to listen to what I have to say, or what I may have to say. Hopefully that I can allow myself to be seen as your next president for the next presidential cycle. I like to say my name is SED Brisco III. I'm a United States of America American, not a Negro American, not a African American. I'm an American, as many of us are. And I would like to take this moment to say hello to all of our Americans out there, true Americans, the ones that actually care about this country and what it took and the sacrifices of our founding fathers and our forefathers and our grandparents and our great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents that has made this country what it is today. I'd like to thank all of our armed forces, the military that keeps us safe day in and day out, the Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Air Force, the Coast Guard, all the unlisted and enlisted and the reserves and everybody alike. You all help and keep America to stay America when so many people are wanting to see us fall. What I like to say is that a lot of these countries have been around for hundreds, if not even thousands of years. And we're like the young brother of the situation, of the young kid on the block as far as new nations is concerned. And we are prone to make mistakes. We have books and books of things of other countries that has made those mistakes as well. So we're prone to make mistakes. We're not perfect, but we have a God that allows us to be one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And so I like to go ahead and say, everyone in America should have one of these. What is this? This is the Constitution of the United States. You should have one of these in your home, every American. And if you don't have one and you call yourself American, then shame on you. And if you don't have one and you call yourself American, then go get one. Because this is who we are. This is how we became. I thank and welcome everyone that takes the time to come to this channel and see. Each time that I address things, each time that I come on, I will read an insert from the Constitution. Therefore, not only will you get a chance to see how I think, because we will be addressing questions that others have posed to me and want me to address on this platform. Pardon my dialect, I'm not really reading teleprompter any sort. I'm really coming straight from me to you. Now, will I read a teleprompter when I'm the president of the United States? Maybe. Will somebody be writing what I need to be saying? I don't know. Because I want the people to understand that when I'm talking, if they get used to me talking in this tone and they get used to me talking to them in this dialect and this lingo, I think that's what they want. They need that. They need to know that they are appreciated. And that's what I would do as the president of the United States of this country. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. We the people. Constitution of the United States of America. Article 1. All legislative powers herein granted shall be vested in a Congress of the United States, which shall consist of a Senate and House of Representatives. Section 2 of Article 1. The House of Representatives shall be composed of members chosen every second year by the people of the several states, and the electors of each state shall have the qualifications requisite for electors of the most numerous branch of the state legislature. No person shall be a representative who shall not have attained to the age of 25 years and been 7 years a citizen of the United States, and who shall not, when elected, be an inhabitant of that state in which he shall be chosen. When this was written, we didn't have 51 states at the time, so you have to understand that this was our beginning that made us who we are. These men came together. Most folks will try to tell you that, well, black man didn't have anything to do with it. But on the contrary, if we were there to serve the people that was making it happen, we had part in it. But not only did we serve, we were part in making this Constitution. And it's a fact. You can look at it, look it up, find out what you want to find. You'll find that we had part in this. So if you are so-called activists and hate the United States of America, then shame on you. If you call yourself an African American and you're saying that you're African American, and they sold us that dream a while back, had everybody believing that they were African American, because I guess I came from Africa, but that would make everyone in America an African descendant, because all descendants come from Africa. Now, let's scratch the word Africa and say all descendants come from a Kibi line. A Kibu line, however you want to pronounce it. Look it up. That was the first name before it was called Africa. And so we all come from there. So does that make everybody here an African American? If all people come from out of Black people, if all people come from Black people, and all Black people come from out of Kibu line, then that's everyone's descendant, which makes everyone here in this country African American. Oh, went too deep for you. Well, yeah, wake up. Those people who do not understand, and if they don't want to wake up, then that's on them. The truth is there. Look it up, bing it, do what you want to do with it, and figure out Yahoo it, AOL it. Do what you want to do with it, and find out. I may look here and may look here because I'm kind of looking at a monitor as well as I'm looking at the camera. So if you see me look down or look straight, that's just me looking at the monitor at time to time. So I have this is my first video, and I just wanted to come out and address myself to the people for the 2023. And for this year, to welcome. Happy New Year, everyone. I'm glad everyone that made it, and the people that did not make it, God bless. May their travels where they go be joyous. If it's in the best place, right? Not, then I don't know. So I have some people that chose to ask me some questions, and they sent in some questions and they wanted me to address them. And so I will address some of these questions. These questions come from some of my first campaign donors, and that were my first initial campaign donors, and I thank you for being my first campaign donors that actually gave and heard what I had to say when I made my announcement. And if you all are still out there, still willing to donate, I'll give you the process of how to donate near the end of this video. Question, what did they say? How will you gather, evaluate, and act on information for all policy decisions? What should I go ahead and say their names? Well, this is Jake and Sherry. I won't put their last name out there, but thank you, Jake and Sherry. Jake and Sherry sent a lot of questions, and I thank them for every question that they took the time to want to know what their next president would like to be, which will be me. As long as y'all go ahead out there and make sure you get out there and vote and get me into this room right here. You see me in this room. I look good in this room, don't I? Just stop it. Okay. How will you gather, evaluate, and act on information for all policy decisions? How will I gather, evaluate, and act on information for all policy decisions? First, I need to make sure that, and I love good questions. So first, I need to make sure that who's delivering this information. And because I'm not a person that takes what a person actually just gives me first as what it is, I would like to make sure that the person is a sound person that has the information. You want to make sure your intelligence people are giving and providing you the best information that is needed. And so that how will I gather it will be by the team that I put together. And mostly going to be the people that I could see that if they go through the process properly, that I can trust them. And if I could trust them, then I'm willing to say that I trust them enough to be able to give me the perfect information that I can act on to make proper decisions for our country and for our country's needs. And when it's dealing with the policy decisions, we want to make sure that it fits what the agenda of this does. Because if we can fit the agenda of this and make sure it stays within the parameters, our country can become as great as it should be and what God has blessed it to become. So that's how I will act on it. It would be according to who's giving it to me and how will it affect the people of this country. And once I could take that understanding, I can't be president more than 8 years. So if I'm there for 4, I'm going to do what I can within 4. If I'm there for 8, I'm going to do what I can within 8. And I will let my hopefully that continue the best path for this country, because we see that most people that come into office start to begin to think about themselves. And when they think about themselves or a certain faction of people, then that separates our country. So that's why I went to the Keebalon statement, to let it be known that if I'm African American, then we all African Americans, because if all of us come from a Keebalon, then all of us are descendants of a Keebalon. Now, how do you say that? If you all believe and you understand that we all started from one central area, and that central area was a Keebalon, the oldest fossil is found in a Keebalon. So that means that the oldest fossil has the link to our genes, and our genes come from there, built by the creator himself. So that's why. So we need to think about everyone: Italians, Irishmen, Netherlands, Germans. We need to think about Australians. We need to think about Canadians, Frenchmen, Sicilians, the people in UK, Englishmen, Scandinavians, Russians, Ukrainians, Jewish, Palestinians. We need to think about all of them. Indians from India, Asians, all the Asians, Taiwanese, Vietnamese, Koreans, so many different. If I missed you, then my apologies. It's not personal. Iraqis, Iranians. My mind just running, trying to make sure I could pull the peoples that are Alaskans, not Alaskans, you're American, but like South Pole people, if there's people out like Greenland, just all of them people. We need to think about all of them, because all of them are part of the same family gene line. Yeah, we have different ways. Everybody in one family, you can have a family of 3 people, mother, father, son. All of them gonna think different ways and see things differently. That's just how people are. It's not nothing strange. So that's how I would do that, Jake and Sherry. I will make sure that I will evaluate it and think of all the people that it may affect, which seem like everybody be on a faction. I'm either left or right, left, right, right, left, right, far left, far right, far right. And as I said once before, there are wings, far left and far right, of the same bird. And we need those wings. No bird can fly offset. A bird needs to fly in unison of its wings, need to fly together in order for it to fly properly. That's why if it turns like that, it turns. So hope I answer that question. They have a lot of questions. So you all will hear Jake and Sherry a lot, because they actually send in a lot of questions. And I would like for you all to send in a lot of questions as well. Put some in the comments. Put some in the send some into the email once I put it and make it public for you to send it to the email. But please ask the questions in the comment section, and I will add it in and put your credit and address it to you. How will you inspire all federal employees to provide the highest level of service to their customers, the people of the USA? Wow. How will I inspire the federal employees? See, I think what happens with our federal employees is that they become so forgotten. And by them being forgotten, I believe that they became angry and have a certain feeling like, well, only I care about me. We only care about each other. No one really cares about us. The hard work, the CIA, the Federal Bureau of investigation does, the Secret Service. Oh man, definitely our uniformed men and women, they get forgotten. And think that that's the problem. I think they need inspiration to know that they are appreciated. No, we can't put their face on Front Street because that'll allow people to know who works for who, and we don't need them to be endangered, and So what I would say is that I would inspire them by letting them know personally that they mean something, that they do count, and that the people of this country need to take a step back and uh, understand that they do things behind the doors that allow us to stay safe. If they let everything out, our head will be blown. It's like our police officers and firemen and sheriffs and constables and local law enforcement. All of them people put their lives on the line daily for us in this country, and they take an oath and they take it very seriously. A lot of people want to say that, well, they got we got a lot of bad people in our family, and it's the same. It's our family. We're gonna have bad, but that does not outweigh the good, and it would not ever outweigh the good. Though people want to be mad at life and want to be bad and angry, it would not ever outweigh the good. So our federal employees, I would inspire them to become, and that they are appreciated in this world, and that they would that we know that their service is greatly appreciated in the way that we can give them that actual help to them. Okay, Jake and Sherry, hope I answered that question for you. Okay, I have another question here from Miseeka B. Miseeka B. Okay. Okay. Hi, Miseeka. Um, she asked, how do we tackle student debt without blanket loan forgiveness? How can we tackle student debt without blanket loan forgiveness? Okay. I got some real questions out there. Okay. How can we tackle student debt without blanket loan forgiveness? Student debt has been around for a long, long time, and if I'm saying it right, Massacre Masika. It has been around for a long, long time. And I'm talking about long time as in 30, maybe 40, 50, even maybe 60 years or so. It's a long time. It's a lot of people not even 50. So that's a lot of debt. And what happened is the way the student loan process is set up for us to obtain knowledge to make our country grow, to make our system work properly. We want some of the best and the brightest people to be able to handle the things of our country and be able to actually make our country still be at the forefront, the leading of this new world and to the new age of things as it been doing. And not negating all the other countries that have been leading the way that we do not. We're talking about America right now, so it's not a slug to any countries out there. I'm not really saying anything anti with y'all when I'm talking. I'm just talking to my American people at the moment. So if you're looking at it from across seas, and it's nothing personal, but the way our student loan debt had began is that we want to make sure our students were able to obtain that knowledge that's out there from the institutions that were set up. And so somebody had to pay for it. And so what happened was we started a program, our country started a program that allowed to take out a loan for a student to obtain that knowledge. And yes, loans have interest on them, and interest stacks. So it's the opposite. So if you had $1 million in a bank account You have a positive interest rate going. So you want that interest to accumulate and stack. Well, it's the same when it's the opposite. When we took out a loan, the interest still accumulates the same way. So our student loan debt has been became a problem through time because the interest loans and the interest rates has fluctuated, and it allowed things to the people who took them out. Sometimes they didn't come out and got the job that needed and to pay it back, and then it just stacks. And we still were sending people through the system to make sure we still keep educated people. We couldn't really stop the process because we still need smart and intelligent people to still make this country run. So we couldn't just get rid of the process. But at the same time, that allowed the debt to keep stacking. And so when the debt kept stacking, then we are where we are now. Trillions, hundreds of billions of student loan debt. We need to look at the real number, and how can we address that real number? What does that real number look like? So if I would be a person that could say, let's say the real number is it's way more than 100 billion, but let's say the real number is 100 billion. It's something we can work with in a smaller amount. The real number is 100 billion. Well, how many people is that 100 billion? And how many people are willing to actually put some money to help make that 100 billion go away? So let's say we have 1 million people that are in student loan debt, which we know is way more than that. So we got 1 million people, and that 1 million people gives $10 on some of the interest for everyone. And we have 300 million people in this country. So let's just say 1 million people give $10 on that interest rate. That's $10 million that we can pay back that can help some students to come. So if I would say, I would find out how much we have, and then I would address the American people that really want to get it done and come with a process that can have everybody involved in making it happen. Not one person can solve it because not one person made it. It's a collective of everybody. And same people that are at the companies that actually have it, the doctors, your attorneys, your go across the board of what it is. You know, your fishermen. They got people that run ships that have degrees. They got people that are in the hospitality industry that has a degree that has student loan debt. So it's just not the big names we usually say, the nurses, doctors, lawyers, and things as such. But you got to think of all the people that hold positions, that all of these people are involved. And but you know that goes with how is our system working for this country where that person can even know how to deal with his money to help that situation. So that's a big question. And if I could say how we would tackle it, we'll have to look at it and come with a solution to see how all of us can be a part of it, because all of us really made it. It's not just the federal government problem, it's an American problem. And so that's how I would kind of tackle the student loan debt without thinking about the forgiveness part at the moment. I really couldn't address, you can't just do away with it because people won't appreciate it. We don't want to just say, hey, your loans are forgiven. And they, yeah. And then they didn't really put in no effort. And that's kind of wrong with our people in this society now, because a lot of people just want a quick response so they could get away and kind of wash it off. And that's not how it didn't start that way. So it's an accumulation of things. Hope that answered your question. She had another question. Wow. What is the best strategy to keep diplomacy while allowing countries to take care of themselves? Okay, Americans. So these are American questions, and I like to address the questions that we have for ourselves, people that our countrymen want to know. And as a president of this United States, I will make sure that that should become a norm for the people uh, going forward. You shouldn't have a president that uh, don't want to address your concerns at the smallest level, because see, some people think because you're a smaller person than them on a big stage of things. That's what I'm saying when I say smaller person, that they're on a big stage, you're a smaller person, and your question don't matter. The money with the donors matter. But the donors, the true donors, is not just the people with the money. It's the people that make this America move. It's those people that work at the restaurants, that build our roads, that teach our children, that fix our clothes, that's at the grocery stores, that stack our shelves. Those people matter. So I like to think like that. That's why I like to get the questions from you out there. I would love to get the questions from you. I would like for you all to think about these questions and send them in. I have no problem addressing them until I'm in the White House. And if I have to, I want to still do the same setup, sit up here, get before you, and answer the questions to the people and let you know that we appreciate you and we thank you. And that goes back to Jake and Sherry question of letting people feel like to inspire them, to let them know we appreciate them. Same as we will inspire the federal employees, we need to inspire the American people and let them know that they are what make this country great. They are who God blessed to be in this country. So what is the best strategy to keep diplomacy while allowing countries to take care of themselves? Well, a strategy. So let's say it's from the same person, Miseeka. Okay, a strategy to keep diplomacy while allowing other countries to take care of themselves. So when I'm repeating the question, I'm sitting here thinking and processing to make sure I bring forth the best response to you. So I just want to make sure I'm hearing it correctly. And so what is the best strategy to keep diplomacy while allowing other countries to take care of themselves? So if I'm looking at the question, I must take that thought that because I said earlier, we are the forefront and we do push, we're the leading of this new world frontier. And I know new world order, no all that other extra. Talking about the new world frontier, that we have been pushing the limits of us to have growth. And our actions affects other country actions that actually we are tending to. And I'm gonna say, when she's asking to take care of themselves, well, because we are a country that wants to make sure people just have safety where they go, especially us as Americans who travel the world and go and see places. We want to keep that diplomacy healthy. And so even we want to show them how by example. So that's why I'm here saying it the way I'm saying it now. We want them to see us do it and exemplify it in our actions, so it makes it easier for them to take care of themselves. It's almost like if a child see a mother or father on drugs or have an alcohol problem, alcoholism being a problem. So that child is looking at these parents do that. And not saying these countries are like our children. I'm just giving an example of a person who's have enough wit to do and a person that doesn't, as far as trying to get themselves together. So that's why we go to every country and try to help them, because everybody don't have the mind state that we have. We have freedom in this country, freedom through this book right here that I say everybody should have in their home. We have freedom. And a lot of countries don't have that, but they want freedom and they want to learn how to do it. So we have to show them how to take care of themselves. We can't be the ones, the drunken parents or the drug parents, and telling the kid, you need to learn. No, we have to show them. We have to exemplify what it is to be that leader. That's why parents are important. Parents are important. Good parents are important. Some kids don't appreciate good parents. That's just life happens, you know. But good parents are important, and even the not so good parents are important because some kids know how not to be. But we're talking about the ones that don't know how to adjust to that type of situation and want to learn how to adjust to that type of situation. Those are the kind of countries we actually have some strong diplomacy with. And we as a country need to keep ourselves going and getting ourselves on. Not thinking selfishly, but thinking preservation before we could be able to divide and deliver to the other countries. So my strategy would be to make sure we get ourselves together. They had an old song called "Sweep Around Your Own Front Door before you try to sweep around mine." You know, sweep around mine, right? So meaning, you know, we can't just go and tell them what to do, but we can show them by making sure our house is clean. And that's where I would go with it for a strategy. Make sure our house clean. Then I can address what's going on in their world and show them it by example. Hey, this is why you should do this. This is what happens when you do this. But whoever's out there that like to divide our country and keep our country divided, it's their problem. We need to understand there's people out there that just don't want to see us prosper. Even living here don't want to see us prosper. So I'm gonna read another article and then I'll close out on this video until the next time. If I'm being the same unit, that means that I came back, I never took out my clothes. No. Well, if I'm being the same unit, it's because what I'm doing is breaking it up into segments and allowing to keep addressing the needs for the other questions that may come. Okay. Still on section 2 and article 1. Representatives and direct taxes shall be apportioned among the several states which may be included within this union, according to their respective numbers, which shall be determined by adding to the whole number of free persons, including those bound to service for a term of years, and excluding Indians not taxed 3/5 of all other persons. The actual enumeration shall be made within 3 years after the first meeting of Congress of the United States and within every subsequent term of 10 years in such manner as shall by law direct. The number of representatives shall not exceed 1 for every 30,000, but each state shall have at least 1 representative, and until such enumeration shall be made, the state of New Hampshire shall be entitled to choose 3. Massachusetts 8, Rhode Island and Providence Plantations 1, Connecticut 5, New York 6, New Jersey 4, Pennsylvania 8, Delaware 1, Maryland 6, Virginia 10, North Carolina 5, South Carolina 5, and Georgia 3. When vacancies happen in the representatives from any state, the executive authority thereof shall issue writs of election to fill such vacancies. The House of Representatives shall choose their speaker and other officers and shall have the sole power of impeachment. All right, that's good. Section 3 coming up next time. And I know a lot of people want to talk about, see, the 3 foot feels human. He's talking about us as Black people. Yeah, okay. Who cares? We're here now, though. That was then. It's done. We're here. I'm right here in front of you in a suit. I don't have a chain around my neck. Don't be mentally still chained to what somebody is making you feel like you haven't evolved or you haven't changed or you haven't overcome. I need you to pay attention to what's in front of you. If you are considering yourself a Black person or Black man, Black male, I need you to really, Black woman, I need you to really pay attention to what's in front of you. No, I'm not sitting here with a chain around my neck, nor are you. So don't let them make you feel as though that you have not arrived from that moment. Yes, it happened. Yes. And as I said, we're still a young nation. We're bound to make mistakes. We're not perfect, but we're better than many nations out there. And that's what we need to address. Till next time. See you.